What comes into your mind when we talk about the Indian edtech sector? Byju's, Unacademy, Physicswala, Vedantu, Upgrad. Well, amid these big players, there is an edtech company that was started in March 2020 with merely 2,000 rupees, and now it is one of the fastest growing edtech companies in the K-12 segment with a valuation of more than $1 million, which is almost 8 crore rupees in merely less than 2 years without any form of external funding. And that company is Padhle. Well, this is actually a success story of how two B.Tech undergraduates, Athar Puranik and Pranay Chauhan, understand the plight of those students, those school-going students who weren't able to pay hefty sum of money to online educators back then during the onset of COVID-19 in India, and they started with nearly 2,000 rupees in their pocket by creating a WordPress website in order to provide the best quality educational content to such students. So how these two young entrepreneurs, without any business background, without any external funding, were able to create a bootstrap profitable edtech company with just $2,000 to $1 million, especially when the entire edtech sector was failing drastically in 2021, with big companies like Byju's, Unacademy, Vedantu going all red in their reports. So in this video, we will get to see what exactly was the idea behind Padhle, how it was able to grow so much exponentially within just a short span of time, and that one core business lesson that we can learn from the success story of Padhle. So make sure you are watching this video till the very end, because if you also want to build a successful business startup, then this case study can be very much helpful and valuable for you. Well, the story behind the idea of Padhle actually dates back to March 2020, when all the schools and educational institutes in India were shut down completely with the onset of COVID, impacting more than 250 million school-going students. And that's when happened the digitalization of the Indian educational sector. EdTech became the new norm. And this was the same time when the revenue as well as the subscriber base of some edtech companies like Byju's, Physicswala, Upgrad and Unacademy skyrocketed exponentially by distributing free and premium courses to the school-going students. But every coin has two sides. Now with this new form of learning, this new form of education technology actually gave rise to two potential problems for the high-grade school-going students, especially from class 9 to class 12. Number one was that a student belonging to a tier 3 city was not able to afford that premium course sold by the edtech player due to the deteriorating financial condition of the family. And number second was that students were not able to feel that personal connection with the teacher or educator during the online or the pre-recorded session. And that's when the founders of Padhle, Athar and Pranay, driven by the entrepreneurial bug within them, decided to take the charge of this massive problem that directly concerns the youth of this country. So that's how the idea of Padhle was actually born as a solution in disguise to these two major problems that all the high-grade school-going students were facing during COVID-19 in India. So the unit selling proportions of Padhle, the USPs of Padhle were clear to the founders since the very beginning. Number one was to provide best quality free educational content and study material to all the students irrespective of their financial background. Number two was to simplify the learning and understanding of complex topics. And number three, and the most important, was to develop a personal connection with all their users, aka students, by teaching them not as a teacher but as a friend, as a mentor. Now in order to start with their business, the founders didn't prefer to go out in the market in order to seek funding. Instead, they started with their own self-made WordPress website by uploading handwritten notes for the student of class 10s on their website. Now learning from these handwritten notes gave all the students a sense of learning in the real classroom, and these notes were so simplified and they were free of cost that even a student belonging to a tier 3 city was able to access them. And this is how these two young educators were able to foster a personal connection with all their students and all their users. But things aren't always that much easy and that much smooth as they seems to be always. In order to accelerate the growth of their website and to retain the quality of their content, the founders have to work 16 hours daily during the initial months because they were not in a financial position to hire a team. But the quality of content that they were sharing and the scope of problem that they were solving eventually came in the limelight, and their website started getting thousands of visitors daily. And after just 4 days of officially launching their website by the name Padhle.in, they started getting almost 3 to 4,000 shares on WhatsApp without spending even a single penny on any form of paid advertisement. Even the first video they uploaded on their YouTube channel, Padhle 10Ts, got viral in no time, and it caught the attention of some big brands. And to further serve their target customers even better, the founders of Padhle decided to launch their own mobile application in September 2021. And the story of exponential growth follow here also. While it could be a patience test for startups sometimes to hit just 10,000 downloads, Padhle was able to hit 15k downloads in less than an hour. Yeah, you heard it right. 15,000 downloads in just less than 60 minutes without spending any money on paid advertisement. And the very next day, their application was ranking on Google Play Store in a complete organic way. And to further increase their student base, the founders of Padhle launched separate YouTube channels for different classes and for different streams, like just Padhle for the students of class 9, Padhle Science, Padhle Commerce and Padhle Humanities for the students of class 11. And as of now, their success matrix looks like this. More than 1.5 million monthly users on their website, more than 1 lakh downloads in less than 12 months, almost 5 YouTube channels for different classes and different streams, more than 7,50,000 subscribers across all the YouTube channels. They have got almost 50.3 million views on all of their YouTube channels with a valuation of more than 1 million rupees, without any form of paid advertisement, without any form of external funding even as of now. So having discussed the success story of Padhle, now you all might be very curious to know how Padhle was able to become one of the fastest growing edtech companies in the K-12 segment without any external funding, without spending even a single penny on paid marketing or on paid advertisement. Well, the credit goes to that one major fundamental of business that the founders of Padhle were able to grasp. Startup is not about only executing an idea. Startup is all about solving a problem and monetizing it. Well, you know, nowadays this startup word has been so much fashionized that every other college student is looking to have his own startup. He is simply running the horses of his mind to get that one idea that could make him a overnight millionaire. But if you will go by the actual definition of startup, it sounds something like this: to solve a problem in a way that has been never done before and leveraging it using technology. And that's what the founders of Padhle exactly did. They were able to understand the problem of their target customers so well that they eventually come out with a product that was actually lacking in the market. And when they filled that existing gap in the market, not only were they able to create a product and monetize it, but they were also able to create a social impact in the Indian educational sector. And that is one of the most major reasons that why this business at this edtech company was able to grow so much exponentially without any funding, without even spending a single penny on paid advertisement even as of now. And if you are thinking that, you know, having your own startup will let you free in your life, then let me remind you just one simple thing. The founders of Padhle have actually worked for 16 hours daily during their initial period. And their hard work and dedication is exactly what have made Padhle today one of the fastest growing edtech companies in the K-12 segment.